So I'm going to take a minute to talk about the layers in ProPresenter. So this is one of the tools that ProPresenter comes with that lets us play multiple things at the same time and still have control over those individual items. So I'm going to go ahead and play this pre-service right here. And you can see over by the clear button, this is kind of the best visual representation ProPresenter gives us of what's going on. So that actually activated 3 layers. The ones that are highlighted here in red, you can see are active, and the ones that are grayed out are the ones that are not active. So there's nothing going on with audio, props, or video input, as well as the announcements. The first 3 of those we'll never actually use at Harvest. Currently how it's set up, we only use the messages, the announcements, slide, and media. So let me show you what those do. I'm going to go down to sermon video. I'm going to play the sermon video, and you'll see the megaphone on the right that said announcements. That's going to activate that layer. So you can see now it's highlighted right here. So we've got all 4 layers activated right now. And you actually can't see everything that's going on just one screen, because if we go to our sermon output, we've also got the sermon playing there. So I'm going to go back to lyrics and show you a little bit of what's going on here. Let me scroll back up to the pre-service. Okay, so we've got our messages. The messages, the way we use ProPresenter, almost always mean timer. So we've got the countdown timer right here. That's going until 10:30 a.m., which happens to be 21 hours from now. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that, and you can see it will only remove the messages and nothing else. So we've still got the video going in the background, but the timer is gone. So let me bring that timer back. And I'm actually going to go down here to the song, and you'll see that timer doesn't go away. So if you happen to start a service early and that timer doesn't dismiss itself, you'll want to hit that clear messages button to get rid of it. We also have this clear slide. The easiest way to understand slide is that it's basically just the text. It's possible to put other things inside of the slide layer, but typically how we use it, it's just going to be the text that you see here on the screen. So when I clear that, you'll see the background video and the timer are going to stay exactly where they're at, but it's going to fade out the text. And then we have the media here too. So the media in this case is going to be the background video. Let me put the text back, and I'll clear that. So then the text is still there, and the message is still there, but the background is gone. Media can also refer to what we're going to call foreground videos. So we have foreground videos and background videos that we'll talk about later, but basically background media is the stuff that's going to show up behind text, whereas foreground will actually replace the text. So whenever I clear media, it's going to get rid of that video, but it's not in the slide layer. So I'll bring that back up, and I'm going to clear the slides, and it doesn't get rid of the video. Because it's a media item, regardless of whether it's a foreground or a background, it's always going to be in this media layer. So we also have the clear all, which is going to get rid of all of the layers at once. But I actually want to show you before we go to that. Let me bring up this song first. We're going to go back to the sermon preview right here. And I can hit this clear announcements. Now, announcements is not the best name for it, but that's the name that it came with, and we don't have the ability to change that. But basically, we just use that to mean the sermon screen. So the way we have it set up at all 3 of the campuses, not including Katanning, is the announcements are always what is going to the projector screen or the sermon screen. So everything else is typically the lyrics output, and then the announcements layer is the sermon output. So if I clear that, it's going to get rid of the sermon, but I can go back to the lyrics output here and see that everything else is still the same. Whenever I hit clear all, that all disappears. Now we also have clear to logo right here, which is the same thing as clear all, but it's also going to bring up the Harvest logo.